Hello, Jase here. If I had a full-time job and wanted to create a second income stream, this is exactly what I would do. And I'm going to show you how I would do it in my spare time and how I would do it for free. So hang about with this video. I'm going to get straight to the point. And by the end of it, you'll have a step-by-step roadmap on what to do today, right now, to start this up for free so you can start creating an income stream ASAP. All right. Firstly, what am I talking about? I'm talking about AI books. Now, AI books is one, it's easy to do. You don't need to write. You don't need to be an author. All right. They're not actually books. Okay. What you do is you create this AI book, which is actually just a digital asset. Because you do it on your laptop. You use Canva and AI to create this book. Just say that's you there. Canva and AI to create this book, and then you self-publish it onto Amazon. Anyone can do this, and that takes minutes, right? When you say self-publish, it's not complicated, right? Then that sits on Amazon, your book. Just imagine your book. These are all customers. They see your book. They buy your book. Cha-ching. You get a cut of the royalties. Amazon get the rest. Okay. Now, the advantages of this is the buck stops here for you. So Amazon they're keeping the book on their website, like the digital book. It's hosted on their website, as in you don't need to create a website or do any funnels or anything like that. You just create the book. Amazon print, deliver, and send it to the customer. Customer's got any problems, Amazon deal with them. All right. The buck stops here, and this is why it's so appealing for people with full-time jobs, because all they need to focus on is creating that book, which takes hours, and I'll show you in a second. Now, if you're wondering how much money you can make, let me just show you. My best month was 52 grand in a month. I've made tens of thousands in months. I'm making thousands of dollars. Okay. Now, I went all in. Okay. You don't need to do anything crazy like this. A lot of my students, for example, Ryan here, he sold 300 books last month, and that's about $1,700. He's got a full-time job. And Genevieve, she's making a couple of $100 a week. Morgan made $170. Gary made $200 with one book, and Debbie makes over $1,000 a month. All working, all doing in their spare time. They're just following a very simple system. I'll leave a link for the system below. The first thing, just think of it like this. You've only got 2 jobs to do. Okay, you think you're already busy with your work. Okay, you want to minimize the amount of effort to do a side hustle and do something you can sustain. Okay, so just 2 jobs: create the book, and second job is to sell it. Now, most people, when they do this, they get this wrong because they're creating books, and that's it. They're not creating books to sell. They're just creating books. You tell them you just need to make a book. They're thinking of, right, what book shall I create? No. What we do is you want to, in order for this to work, you want to create a book that is built literally to sell. And the best way to do that is firstly, so when let's break this down a bit now. So step 1, I'm going to bring that creating down here. Try not to make a mess. Right. Step 1 is you go to Amazon and you look for where the money is. Okay, so you want to know where the money is so you can position your book where the money is. So that book basically hasn't got a life until you've worked out where the money is, and then you're like, okay, in order to put a book there, I need to create a book about XYZ. See, you do it that way around. Then the second thing is you use Gemini, which is free, to create the cover and all the content. All right. When you pick a book that's easy to do, something that you can create mostly with AI, like trivia, fact books, riddles, jokes books, stuff that's like very easygoing, giftable, and you can create it in Gemini. And then you create all your content, all your covers in Gemini. That literally takes minutes. The bit that takes a bit more time is when you need to format that book into Canva. Although there's a lot of tricks you can do with bringing it to Canva, but let's just assume that will take you like 3 to 4 hours to format the book. So that's the most time. And then once you formatted the book, then you publish it, and you use an Amazon KDP account, which you can get for free right now. Okay, so those are the 4 steps to create the book. Now, if you've got step 1 right, this one here, you've got a very good chance of selling the book already. That's like 50% of the battle, is just picking the right place to put a book. And that's how my students are able to make sales very, very quickly, because we spend a lot of time learning where's the best place to put a book so it sells. That's what I teach in my program below. Okay, then the next thing now is Gemini is to create the cover and the title to give your book the most chance of selling, because everyone judges book by its cover. Canva is kind of like where you just got to put the work in and then you publish. It's literally those 4 steps. That is it. All right. Okay. So simple to do this. What you may be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. Okay. Firstly, let me tell you why most people fail, because they do this. All right. Let's just do a little graph. All right. Let's just say this is your motivation or momentum, whatever it is, and this is your time. What most people do is they get stuck in because they get fired up about making this money online, making a passive income, and they put a lot of time, their motivation and momentum skyrockets up here, and then they don't make sales straight away, because it will happen if you haven't got a system to follow, and then eventually that motivation and the momentum drops. Okay, and if you think these are when you're publishing books, so you skyrocket, you publish one book there, you may most people may publish another book, and then that's it. It kind of drops off real quick because they're expecting to make sales real fast. Okay, instead, this is what I teach my guys to do, is more like this. Okay, you just follow a system to be working a little bit of the time, because if you already got a full-time job, you don't want to go sprinting at it. Just think of it like a marathon. Think of it over a 3-month period, and you're just going to do a little bit and publish a book a week and keep it going. And that's how those guys there are able to make money, because they're just consistently publishing it, learning, publishing, learning, publishing, learning, but it fits into their routine, so they're not like killing themselves straight away. It just fits in and becomes a habit, and that is ultimately how you make money in this long term. It's all about the system you follow and the habits you get to do this, or when you're doing it, which ultimately lead to creating better and better books over and over again. Okay, and that's why them guys make money, because I teach a system. Okay, links below for the whole system. Yeah, step by step. It's not just about creating a book anymore, because anyone can do that with AI. It's about how you operate the business as a whole and how it fits into your life so you can keep going. All right, so just to summarize now, if you work in a full-time job and you want to create an income stream on the side that will pay you passively and do it for free, those are the steps you do. Go into Amazon, find out what books are selling, and then you go into Gemini and you create your own style of the book. Remember to pick a book that's simple to do with AI, just easy-going books to do, facts, trivia books. Okay, position it well into where the money is. You create that book using Canva. You can create it quite quick, like a few hours, and then you can publish that book in a day. So you could actually publish today if you wanted to. That book goes live tomorrow, and then there's a chance of making sales. And when that book sells, like I said, over here, Amazon take care of everything. You just collect royalty, and that's how you can do it and leave it running while you still got a full-time job and it's making you money. All right, thanks for watching. Give me a little like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.